Good morning, it's early in the morning and we're about to load up our first rod to take out to do a bit of carp fishing this morning. First thing I always check is if my hook is sharp. I just test it gently on my fingernail like that to make sure it's going to grab. Next thing I do is I load up a bit of ground bait. I've got a 4-ounce sinker here with a hole in it. It's called a gripper sinker. So I push it into the ground bait like that and I form it tightly around. That creates a bit of attraction around the hook bait. Next thing I do is I load it up in the bait boat. So I always leave the lead core coming out right next to the slot like that, and I tuck the hook carefully into the ball of ground bait, just making sure I don't go into a tiger nut or a maple pea and it's not going to tangle. What I then do is I just add a couple of more little balls of attraction. I always use a wet rag to hold the line between my fingers. It cleans the line while it goes out, and it also helps to keep the line nice and straight between me and the boat. That's a decent fish. This is a decent fish. Busy fishing with a Akuma 8K 12-foot rod and an Akuma 8K reel. We've had the line in the water for about half an hour and we've just got a run now. It feels like a really good fish. Took a lot of line and it feels quite heavy. Got the dock sinking braid on here and I can feel every movement that the carp makes, even though the line's out about 300 meters. It's really nice playing a fish on this 8K because you can set the drag exactly where you want it. So if the fish takes line, it's not going to pull the hook. It's going to take the drags really nice and smooth. Spent a lot of time and effort getting to the dam. We've prepared our ground feed, particles, got all the kit here unpacked and everything. We've got one rod in and now we've got a fish on. So you want to take your time playing the fish as well. We've got Doc's braid on here, and when you're playing a fish on braid you don't want to put too much pressure on the fish because you might pull the hook. So take your time. It's like a dog in a lead. Don't be in a rush, don't panic, especially when the fish gets close. Take your time, enjoy the fight. Caught our first fish for the morning. Put on the Doc's unhooking mat. Beautiful colors, winter colors, a bit darker than usual. As we get less and less light, the fish get darker and darker. Let's have a look at the hook hold. Just as I expected, it's in the middle of the bottom lip, about a ½ an inch to an inch back, which is perfect. That's the strongest part of the fish's mouth. And you can see this fish has been feeding in silt. It's got a bit of a dark edge on the bottom lip over there. I'll just pop the hook out quickly. Okay, I'll show you how to lift a fish safely now. First thing is you want to take off any watches, rings, anything that could lift any scales on the fish, and then slide your hand right underneath the fish. Want it facing away from you like that, and then grab the front fin like that and then roll it up towards the camera. There we go. Go get bigger.